How's it going, everyone? So, something that I notice when beginners are learning JavaScript is uh, how difficult it can be to recognize when to use certain higher order functions. So, for each higher order function, we're talking about for each map, filter, reduce, find, etc. There is sort of like a perfect scenario for each one. And you sort of need to be able to recognize when you're working with data sets, right? So when you're working with data coming in and you need to transform it or work with it in some way, when to use each of the different higher order functions to transform that set of data. So when we're talking about map, we are talking about when you are working with an array of elements and you're taking in an array and you know that you want to return an array of the same amount of elements as the original array that you're taking in. That means if you are taking in an array of numbers like we have here, and I said to you, let's return an array of the same amount of numbers, but we want each number to be transformed in some way. What we're going to see actually in just a second is I'm going to ask you to transform these numbers by multiplying each one by 2 and returning it in a new array. So we have 1, 2, 3 as our input, and we want to return an array of 2, 4, 6 as our output. So that is exactly when the light bulb should be going off in your head when you're thinking, okay, this is the perfect scenario to use the map method. It's when I'm taking in an array of 3 numbers and I know that I want to return an array of 3 numbers. Now, the important thing about map is that it doesn't necessarily have to be the same data type in your output, right? You could take in an array of 3 numbers and I could ask you to return an array of 3 strings or 3 arrays or 3 objects or 3 even undefined values. The important piece here is that you're taking in an array of 3 elements of any type and you're returning out an array of 3 elements of any type. So whenever you have that same sort of number comparison there, that is when you should reach for the map method. So taking a look at this example we have here, I have a function multiplied by 2. It takes in an array of numbers. I'm creating a new empty array. I'm looping over the array of numbers that we have as our input. And I'm saying for each one of those numbers in our input array, I want to multiply it by 2 and push it into the new array, which I'm doing here. And then I am returning that new array. So that's when I log the invocation of this function, and I'm passing in numbers, which again was this set of 1, 2, 3 at the top here. When I actually run this, and by the way, I'm using a VS Code extension called Code Runner to see my output here. I see 2, 4, 6 in the output. Now, I wrote this using for each, but this is a perfect scenario to use map because I'm, again, taking in 3 numbers and I'm returning 3 numbers in an array. So I'm going to refactor this so that it uses the map method. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm basically going to scrap this and this, because what the map method will do is sort of under the hood, it's going to create a new array. We're going to, in a little bit of a different way, we're going to push our elements into the new array, and then we're going to automatically return that new array out. So that's going to end up looking something like this. I'm going to actually create a, let me keep these for just a second. I'm going to create a new function to show this. Let me actually keep these highlighted now just so we can kind of visually compare. So I'm going to say function use map. That's also going to take in an array of numbers. Let's call it nums. And what I want to do here is I want to, we say map over the input of our numbers array. So I'm going to say nums map. And now map is what we call a higher order function. It is going to take in a function, which we will define. This is called a callback function. And it's going to run this callback function automatically on each number in nums here. So whatever we write this callback function inside of the map invocation to do, it will do that to each element of nums. So what I want to do, like what do I actually want to do to each element? Well, I defined it up here. I want to multiply it by 2 and push it into the new array. Let me actually grab those 2 lines of pseudocode and place them here. So how can I actually access each element that I'm currently looking at, right? So I want to be able to work with each number. So on any given iteration of the loop, right? Map is a loop. It loops over nums. How can I look at the current number that I'm looking at on any iteration of the loop? Well, I have access to it in the one required parameter inside of the callback inside of map. And I can call it whatever I want. So I'm going to call this parameter num because I'm working with numbers. So this num will refer to whatever number I'm currently looking at on any given iteration of the map loop. So I want to multiply that number by 2 and push it into the new array. How do I push it into the new array inside of map? All I have to do is return it. So I'm going to return num times 2. And then the other piece of the puzzle here, right, was how do we return that new array that map has kind of created under the hood here? Map is going to actually do that automatically for us. So what this will basically spit out is a new array of all the numbers multiplied by 2. And we can save that in a variable. So I could say new array is equal to nums mapped over, and we did all this logic and it spits out the new array. Or I can simply return that whole new array, because at the end of the day, that's what I want my useMap function to do anyway, right? So now when I call useMap, I should see the same output. And in fact, I do. I see 246. So kind of quick recap. These two functions are doing functionally, right, the exact same thing. They're creating a new array, taking our input array, taking each number in our input array, multiplying it by 2, and then sort of pushing it into the new array, and then returning out that new array. It's just that map sort of does a lot of those kind of inner pieces for us. It kind of removes a lot of that heavy lifting work that we had to do using for each. So why did I use map here? Why was this the perfect scenario for map? I'm taking in an array of 3 elements and I'm returning an array of 3 elements. And I will have a second part of this as well, where we can look at a little bit of a more advanced scenario working with ingesting data. So keep tuned for that. I'll paste it right here. Any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you very much.